Welcome to Maple States, where facts meet power. Today, we're decoding how Canada just pulled off a $53 billion copper deal that could quietly reshape the balance of global energy, tilt influence away from Washington, and turn Ottawa into a gatekeeper of the world's most essential metal. If you've ever wondered what comes after oil, stay with us, because the answer might already be wiring your future. On September 9, 2025, Anglo American, the London-based mining titan, merged with Teck Resources, Canada's flagship miner. Overnight, they became one of the largest copper producers on Earth, controlling projects from Chile's Andes to British Columbia's mountain ranges. This isn't a typical business merger, it's a power play. Copper is the bloodstream of the modern world, feeding electric vehicles, wind turbines, AI-driven data centers, and advanced defense systems. Without copper, the energy transition flatlines. Goldman Sachs called it the new oil, and for good reason. Demand is expected to triple by 2035, while the International Energy Agency warns of a supply deficit exceeding 6 million tons a year. Whoever controls the mines controls the pace of electrification itself. And for Canada, this isn't luck, it's strategy. By tying Teck's vast Latin American assets to Anglo's global reach, Ottawa has inserted itself into the heart of global supply chains that stretch from Santiago to London. But here's where it gets geopolitical. The first country feeling the tremor isn't China, it's the United States. For decades, Washington shaped hemispheric resource flows: oil from Venezuela, minerals from Chile, gas from Alberta. Now, copper's new routes run through Vancouver, not Texas. US firms hold almost no major stakes in South American copper, and domestic output has barely grown in 20 years. That means America's electrification plans now depend partly on Canadian diplomacy. Copper has become the 21st century oil. Every electric car uses 4 times more copper than a gasoline-powered one. A single wind turbine needs over 60,000 pounds. Fighter jets and missile systems rely on it too. Whoever secures supply controls the backbone of clean energy and national defense. And Canada, through this merger, just positioned itself as both supplier and broker. Beijing sees danger. China consumes over half the world's copper, but its control of supply is thin, a scattering of stakes across Africa and South America. It desperately wanted deeper access to Teck's Chilean and Peruvian mines. Instead, Ottawa and London locked those gates. The Anglo-Teck alliance forms a Western mining superpower big enough to challenge China's state-backed giants. The result? A potential choke point on Beijing's most critical import. If Canada and the UK tighten output, copper prices surge, and China's EV and battery sectors pay the bill. For Europe, though, this is salvation. The EU's green energy plans have been gasping for reliable copper sources since the war in Ukraine exposed its dependency on Russia and China. Brussels recently signed critical minerals pacts with Ottawa and Berlin, and now Canada can funnel both South American and domestic copper directly into European grids. In August 2025, Canada and Germany inked a framework linking subsidies to copper infrastructure, a deal already attracting European Investment Bank financing. In short, Europe gets its metal, Canada gets billions in investment, and Washington watches from the sidelines. That's why analysts are calling the Anglo-Teck merger a geopolitical jackpot. It gives Ottawa a new diplomatic currency. Access to copper can now be traded for trade concessions, tech cooperation, or defense partnerships. Canada may not project military might, but it can throttle or accelerate the world's clean energy timeline. And that's a different kind of power. Still, big bets bring big risks. Latin America's politics are volatile. Protests in Peru or regulation shifts in Chile could freeze production overnight. Environmental backlash is growing too. Copper mining consumes vast water supplies, and communities are pushing back. A single disruption could shave millions of tons off annual output. Yet even with those hazards, Canada holds leverage no other Western democracy can match. If Ottawa plays it right, this deal could generate tens of thousands of jobs, attract global investors, and redefine Canada's place in the G7. If it falters, the ripple could slow down the entire green transition. Either way, the copper era has begun, and its center of gravity just moved north. So what does this $53 billion bet really mean? It means the world's energy future now partially runs through Ottawa. It means Washington, Brussels, and Beijing must renegotiate how they power their economies. And it means Canada, long the quiet middle power, just became a deciding voice in who electrifies first. For the US, it's a wake-up call. For Europe, a lifeline. For China, a nightmare. But above all, for Canada, it's proof that influence in the 21st century won't be measured in barrels or warships. It will be measured in copper. You're watching Maple States, where we decode power, trade, and the forces shaping tomorrow. If you found this breakdown valuable, help us reach 10,000 subscribers and hit that like button. It keeps independent journalism alive. Tell us below, is copper truly the new oil, or just the next geopolitical gamble? Either way, the future is wired, and it's starting right here.